Hello, my listeners and viewers. Um, I am happy to announce that I am back after a very long absence from my weekly podcast. This has been due to personal reasons that affected the production and the publication of my podcast. But I'm happy to announce that I'm back, and of course, my podcast will be done on a weekly basis. Today, I want to talk about a very sensitive subject that affects me personally as a lawyer, and that concerns the issue surrounding the Sierra Leone Bar Association. Uh, Quite lately, activities of the Bar Association has come under the microscope, has come under serious scrutiny from the public, the media, social uh, media, blogs, print, and electronics. And some of the things that have actually characterized the Bar Association is a little bit concerning. And it's my expectation that somebody will speak up and speak out. Somebody whose voice matters a lot. Somebody uh, who is maybe a decision maker, but unfortunately, it has really not been the case. And as a result, I have decided to speak out and speak up on these issues because it also personally affects me as a lawyer. Of course, I know some of the things I'm going to say is going to be unsettling and it's going to offend certain people. And of course, one of my friends actually advised me against it because he said, as a lawyer, you want to win cases for your clients in court and you do not want to start offending and quite a lot of people, particularly when one things you say is going to offend people like magistrates and judges, which is not my intention at all. And I gave a very serious and deep thought of his about his advice. But then, I mean, somebody has to speak out anyway, and if that has to be me, then so be it. Of course, I love controversy. I love being controversial. I know people are going to come after me, my reputation. I mean, quite a lot of things. But then, who really cares? I mean, I have really nothing to lose. So, you may say what you want to say. That does not change the fact that what I'm saying, I mean, it's relevant and it's important for people to say. I want to start actually firstly by looking at the legal status of the Bar Association. The first question that I want to ask, I mean, what's the legal status of the Bar Association? Is the Bar Association a creation of an act of parliament, or a creation of a statute, of a creation of a constitution? Certainly, with my limited constitutional knowledge, it is not created by the Constitution. Is it a creation of a statute? Uh, that is a question I am not really well versed into answer, but then I am willing to accept and apologize if I am going to make the wrong statement about the creation of a bar association here, and I'm willing to come up publicly and apologize for whatever statement I'm going to make with respect to the creation of the bar association. I know I have searched the Legal Practitioners Act 2000, which governs the admission, the practice, and discipline of legal practitioners. I am yet to see any provision that says, and there is that creates the bar association itself as a body. I am yet to see that. Of course, there are few instances where there have been mention of the Sierra Leone Bar Association, but that does not mean it is creating or it created the Bar Association. Of course, the Legal Practitioners Act 2021, which is the People regulation, says nothing about the Bar Association. Of course, you have the Legal Practitioners Act 2012. I did not see any provision here leading to the creation of the Bar Association. Of course, in 2015, there was an amendment to Section 10, which actually talks about the qualification of a lawyer. I mean, the qualification of being a legal practitioner in Sierra Leone. and there is no mention of the creation of the bar association. So if the bar association is not created under any statute, then it leaves the possibility that the bar association is registered either as a company, that is through the Corporate Affairs Commission, or it's registered, uh, I mean, through the Office of the Administrator General. If it is registered as a company, probably we may want to see, I mean, as a member of the Bar Association, we may want to see, I mean, the rules, I mean, its creation. Because if it is created by Parliament, then it becomes what people will normally talk about a parastatal. Okay? But if it is not a creation of a statute, nor created by the Constitution, nor is it registered in the Corporate Affairs Commission, nor in the Attorney General, the Administrator General's office, then this seriously question the legal basis. I mean, why in fact we should have an association called a bar association, because it goes against, because to be able to operate legally in Sierra Leone, you must be registered. You are either a creation of Parliament, you are either a creation of statute, you are either created by the Constitution, you are either registered through the Administrator General's office or Corporate Commission. If none of this applies to the bar association, then it clearly undermines the legal status of the bar association. I am not saying that the bar association is not a registered entity. I am not saying it is not registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission or through the Office of the Attorney General. I am not saying that. I am just saying that if an institution, an association, should be a corporate body, should have a legal entity, should have the legality to operate as an institution, an organization, an association, or a body, a CBO, a CSO, then it must be registered. But if all what I have said does not apply to the bar association, if we are not registered through the Corporate Affairs Commission, if we are not registered through the Office of the Administrator General, if it is not a creation by statute or whatever, I mean, legal or piece of legislation, then it raises serious questions about the bar association. Now, let me also now talk about the activities during this past few weeks or few months. I mean, we all know on the 17th and 18th of May 2024, I mean, what's the election? I mean, there was an election for the president of the Bar Association. I mean, this is traditional, you know. Of course, Bar Association is a highly democratic institution that chooses its leaders, it governors, or it, I mean, people that want to lead the association through an election. And this election was held in Kenema. Of course, it is public knowledge that you know, the events of the 17th and the 18th led to a very ugly scenario, which was posted in all social media forum, which actually led me and even the public to really question whether people who are supposed to be called lawyers should really degenerate to that level, you know. But then, of course, unfortunately, it happened, you know. And also on the 10th of May, I mean, we saw a standoff between lawyers and the Sierra Leone police at Brookfield Hotel. The police were illegally stopping lawyers' peaceful assembly of a meeting. That's a clear human rights violation. I know there are so many arguments to it, but then I really do not want today to go into the arguments. But then I just want to say one thing. What is happening to the Sierra Leone Bar Association is not unique to Sierra Leone. Okay? But then we must really also be very honest to ourselves. Because the Bar Association is supposed to be an independent pressure group. It is supposed to be a civil society organization. But unfortunately, Sierra Leone is the only country where lawyers do not have an identity. I mean, I say this because I know what I'm talking about. If you ask a lawyer, or if you ask really lawyers, who are you? They don't only say we are lawyers. Okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, lawyers are pressure group. They should be part of civil society. But in Sierra Leone, if you call lawyers civil society, it's going to be one of the worst insults you're going to insult them. But my interaction with a lot of lawyers from within and outside Sierra Leone, internationally, regionally, lawyers are proud civil society advocates. But this is the opposite in Sierra Leone. Let me tell you let me share with you my experience. I mean, some time back, we were having a meeting at a UNDP, called by the Rule of Law section under the leadership of a good friend of mine, Nana Buzia Jr. In that meeting, we are all invited. And when we went to the meeting, we all sat down separately. Civil society organizations were in a separate group. Lawyers were seated separately, And I think it was Nana that asked the question, why the divide? We have called civil society organizations, we have created this platform for civil society organizations to interact with government officials. But then I think one of the lawyers whose name I cannot call now because he is a very senior colleague of mine. He said, we are Bar Association. We are not civil society. We do not belong to civil society organizations. It was a little bit mind-blowing because as far as I'm concerned, lawyers, we should occupy the civil society space. But what we have done, we have ceded the civil society space to all the people. Because what I know, a lot of civil society organizations are being led by lawyers. But in this country, if you are a lawyer, you can only use civil society space as a stepping stone into politics. Of course, there are so many civil society people now parading themselves as civil society in a lawyer's coat, saying they are civil society, but of course, we know that they are government spokespeople. They are spokesmen for government because we see them all over around the place, which is also very much concerning. But that's just a digression. I do not want to digress. Let me stay focused on the Bar Association. What is now happening in the Bar Association is the Bar Association really should actually take a deep look at itself, who we are and what really we want to achieve. What I am saying, and this is my personal opinion, what I'm saying here is the Bar Association has relegated itself and its activities to politics. All what we are seeing now is we have the SLPP Bar Association and the APC Bar Association. Say what you want to say. Of course, I am owning everything I am saying on this podcast. We have relegated such a respected institution to politics. We are actually not we are not in it for the interest of the Bar Association. We are actually in it. We are just, some of the instructions actually is been given to certain people, it's at the behest of their political godfathers, which should not be the case, and that's very, very sad. Sierra Leone Bar Association is a professional body that must stand up for the people of this country, that must stand up for the constitution of this country. But we have always betrayed the constitution. We have betrayed the people of this country. And we are now in this whole thing fighting who to succeed each other. What we are now seeing is just probably a preview of what we are going to see in 2028 elections, because it's all about politics. You guys are not in this thing because you really want to genuinely provide the required leadership for the bar association. No, you guys are all in this thing because you want to protect your political parties, your political godfathers. That's why you are in this thing, and that's why you're fighting. I mean, I cannot imagine why we should be fighting an institution of 100% literacy, and yet we can stoop so low to the level of fighting for elections, destroying property. But you know what? Not one single member of the bar association was arrested, because the law applies to members of bars differently. But if other groups, the 17 and 18, if it was organized by other groups, those people were going to be, in prison or in police cells. And this selective justice is wrong. As lawyers, we should be the example. That is why we have the courts. That is why we have studied tons of legal theories that we should use to ensure that we would defend our rights and the rights of other people that depend on us. But no, we are seeing fighting. We are seeing on the street, now of course, what the police did on the 10th of May is a clear human rights violation. Clearly human rights violation. And lawyers should know that human rights violation is a very serious issue. But then, no, it's all about politics. And maybe if you have forgotten, let me just jog your memory. Do you remember the case of the Sam Sumana incidents, where Sam Sumana was removed and the case actually went to court? Remember the role Bar Association played? That was the moment when the Bar Association was expected to stand up for the Constitution. But no, they did not. You know what they did? They stood up for their political godfathers. And today, we are saying the same thing. Hey guys, you know what? We should be serious about running the Bar Association. Bar Association is not some kind of it's not any association. It's supposed to be enviable, respected. When you say you are a lawyer, it carries with it a special gravitas, a different kind of gravitas. But it is as if that today we have people who are in legal suit that are not supposed to be lawyers at all. And that is what we are seeing today. Let's use the courts. That is why the courts are there. We are lawyers, for Christ's sake. We know the law. We should not be seen fighting. Why are we fighting? Do we even have a Bar Association secretariat? No, we don't. In other countries, they have Bar Association secretariats. That is why we will always be stopped by the police, because we do not have a secretariat. If we had a Bar Association secretariat, no police will stop us. No, but we don't. I mean, for crying out loud, how should we be? We keep going to Brookfield Hotel to have meetings. I only know where next. I mean, we are shamefully standing on the street, having meetings on the street. I call that shamefully and disgracefully, because the Bar Association should have its own secretariat. Many governments have come and gone, and many Bar Association presidents have come and gone. Not a single one has been able to give us a secretariat. No. I mean, there are burning issues in this country right now. Like for instance, the issue of water. I mean, my next podcast is going to be focusing on the right of water. People drink water we get water from the gutters. We cut pipes that are in the gutters. I mean, I have pictures, I have videos. Bar association should be able to stand up for those issues in this country. Issues of social importance. I mean, it's disgraceful that we do not have light. Electricity is a problem, and somebody from government, said we should pray for light. Can you imagine that? These are not issues what really taking. These are not issues that want the attention of bar association. We all know that in Sierra Leone, particularly in Freetown, there was a slaughter of over 30 prison inmates in the Pademba Road prisons. I call it a slaughter without apology. It was a slaughter, massacre. The situation has gone unheard of, completely unheard of. That is not a human rights issue, or that is not an issue for bar association. What is really important for bar association is who becomes the next SLPP bar association president, or the next APC bar association president. As a lawyer, I'm not sure really you guys are fighting for me. No, you are not fighting for me. You are fighting for your political godfathers. We all know that this is all a political fight and political struggle. That's it. That doesn't mean as a member of a bar association you should not have your political affiliation. No, that's not what I'm saying. But then the credibility of the institution must come first. You need to have the courage to stand up and say, I belong to party XYZ, but I'm standing up for the truth. Over 30 years, Pakaba, may the Lord have mercy on his gentle soul, is now gone. Ernest Krumah came and he is now exited. President Bill is now in his 60th year of leadership. And yet the same situation still continues. In fact, it's now worsening by the day. Bar association should. Because you know what? The only hope, the only reason why I actually push to be a lawyer is because I know the only hope of any country lies in a very vibrant bar association. And I still believe that. But unfortunately, what we are saying, that hope is being diminished, it's been crushed by the hour. Because you guys are not in this whole political game. You're not representing the bar association. You are just representing your own selfish agenda or your own political interest. That's all. It's so clear. Look, if you have to be proud of being a member of the bar association, you must pay up. You must be a paid up member before elections. But you know what I have learned and what I have seen? Bar association members do not pay until when it's time for elections, and you guys expect the candidates to pay up for you, buying your integrity. You allow them to waste their money on you to pay your dues for you, and yet you expect them to provide the kind of bar association leadership. No. Let's start first of all by being members of the bar, proud members of the bar. You need to pay. You do not need a candidate to come and pay for you. That was what exactly happened during this election, and that is what has been happening. And yet we are here crying for, do we want to have sympathy? No, it's not sympathy. we are actually destroying the image of that institution which has been built and preserved for over years. And I'm not sure if we need to do that, because a lot of people struggled to put the Bar Association together. And their intention was good. It is not for us to come and destroy that reputation, the respect of the Sierra Leone Bar Association. And I'm proud to be a member of the Sierra Leone Bar Association. But with what is happening right now in the Bar Association, I mean, there is a need for us to start talking about the Bar Association. From the election to now, all what I'm seeing, it's all about politics. That's it. And it's about APC and SLPP politics. That's it. Call it what you want to call it. Call it what you want to call it. And we must stop. And I think, maybe the question is what's the benefit of belonging to the Bar Association? Because every year, the most important things the Bar Association normally achieves is elections. Tell me. Challenge me. Tell me some of the achievements of Bar Association. After the Bar Association elections, the president meets with the president-elect meets with the governing, the head of state, and that's it. Nothing more. You cannot even boast of a secretariat, but yet you are here. You went to Kenema to disturb the peace-loving people in Kenema who are struggling with their own issues. You cannot even stay in Freetown. We cannot even boast of a decent secretariat. We can't boast of... How old are we as an association right now? I mean, for those who were in power during the APC era, tell your government, say, give us land. I mean, you are going to tell, oh yeah, we have a land. We have land somewhere. Land somewhere where? Where do we have land? If we had a secretariat, nobody was going to stop us from entering our secretariat because it's ours. But then we had to look out for a hotel. For over 30 or more years we have been in operations, we cannot even boast of a single secretariat. Do we even have a bus? Do we have a vehicle? No. Do we have a very serious structure? No. We use the court as a venue for a meeting, which to me, I think it's well, I reserve my opinion and comments about that. But I think this issue of this infight of the Bar Association must stop. We either be members of the bar or we dissolve the bar. Simple. And besides, some of us, I am still going to continue my research. If the Bar Association is not a creation of a statute, if it is not registered under Corporate Commission, or it's not registered through the Office of the Attorney General, then somebody would need to tell me what's the legal basis of its operation. Or is it an illegal organization operating, or what? I am not saying it's illegal. I'm just asking questions, because if you should be registered. If you're not registered, then you must be created by an act of parliament or by some statute or the constitution. If none of these applies, then why are you even talking of a bar association? For people who run organizations, of course, I run an organization. I am legally registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission. I also own a business. I am legally registered. My business is registered through the office of the Administrator General in this office. So therefore, I have the legal basis to operate in this country. But if you are not the Sierra Leone Human Rights Commission that is created by Parliament, if your creation is not contingent on any statutory or legislative policy, if you are not registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission as a company limited by guarantee, if you are not registered through the office of the Administrator General, then the Bar Association should really start thinking very seriously of itself. Because as lawyers, we should not be operating illegally. If that is the case, understand, if that is the case, I hope that is not the case. Let me pause here for today, and I'll come back tomorrow with more issues, because I'm actually trying to I'm doing more research on some of the issues affecting the Bar Association, and it's important that we start talking of the Bar Association, and nobody more than a member of the Bar Association. I mean, we has the right to talk about an association. We should start looking at ourselves appropriately and correctly. We must be the Bar Association, a professional body. As I said, Bar Association has a special kind of gravitas. Come on, man. I am a proud member of that association. And lawyers all over the world really occupy a particular, height and level in life. That's why they refer to us as learned colleagues. I mean, there is so much to the meaning of learned colleague than what people really know about. But seeing the Bar Association